Hello everyone, we finally have a hard Clues by Sam this week, and I hope you're doing well. If you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it is a daily puzzle game. We're here doing this every day, and the rules are that each person shall be a criminal or an innocent, and they might give you clues. You have to figure out who or what each person is. And if you want to play it too, there is a link in the description, but if you just want to follow along with me, or maybe you get stuck and need some help, then I'm going to start right now and I'm going to explain my logic as I go. Let's go. We start with Mary telling us that exactly 2 of the 3 instances neighboring Cheryl are in row 1. So Cheryl, who has 5 neighbors total, has 3 of them as innocents, and 2 of them are in row 1. Well, Cheryl herself is in row 1, so the 2 people in row 1 who neighbor her have to be innocents. And that puts only 1 innocent in row 2 neighboring Cheryl. Now, Bobby tells us that everyone has at least 2 criminal neighbors. Everyone. Criminal. That's interesting because let's think about Donna. And let's say that the innocent neighbor Cheryl in row 2 is a let's say that the innocent neighbor Cheryl in row 2 is one of Donna's neighbors as well. Let's say that Gus was an innocent. Then both Cheryl and Hilda would have to be criminals, so that Donna could have at least 2 criminal neighbors. But if Gus were to be a criminal and Hilda herself as well, that would make Flora an innocent. And that couldn't happen because now Amy doesn't have 2 criminal neighbors, and Amy has to have 2. So that makes Flora for sure a criminal, and Eli as well. And we know that Gus and Hilda have an innocent among them. And we also know that Cheryl has to be the second criminal neighbor for Donna, since Donna also has to have 2. And that can only be accomplished with Cheryl being a criminal. Okay. Lots of new clues now. Let's start with Eli's. An odd number of instances on the edges neighbor Scott. Where's Scott? Scott has 5 people on the edges neighboring him. An odd number of those people is innocent, but we don't know how many yet, so let's leave that clue there. Flora tells us there's an odd number of instances neighboring Coomer. Coomer has 2 instances so far, so he has to have at least 1 more, but we don't know how many more yet, so let's leave that clue there. And let's look at Cheryl's. There are as many innocent doctors as there are innocent teachers, and there's 3 doctors total on the board. Only 1 of them is an innocent, so there can be only 1 innocent teacher. How many teachers do we have on the board? 3. How do I deal with that? We need to think about Kuma, because Kuma has an odd number of instances neighboring him. What if Uma were an innocent? That would make both Olivia and Zoe criminals. And Scott needs an odd number of instances neighboring him on the edge. And everyone has at least 2 criminal neighbors. That's an important thing for Mary, I think, because Mary has to have 2 criminal neighbors, right? She has 1 here. She's gonna have a second one here. Kumar has an odd number of instances neighboring him, and Scott has an odd number of instances neighboring him on the edges. That's hard. I asked for this. Shouldn't complain. There are 7 instances on the edges total. And one of them, have I read Donna's School before? I don't think so. Only one of the 7 instances on the edge is Vince's neighbor. So I guess we know that either Wanda, oh, let me use the upper tag. Either Wanda or Olivia are, innocent and the other one's a criminal, right? And we also know that there's 7 innocents total on the edges. So that's 1 here, 2, 3, 4 so far. We need 3 more. And Vince needs 2 criminal neighbors. So Scott has to be the second criminal. And I think we're gonna find a similar position for Zoe. Because at least one of these guys has to be a criminal. Either Uma or Xavi. It could be both of them though. So I'm not gonna jump there yet. Let me look at Scott's clue. Only one of the 2 innocents neighboring Mary is to the right of Olivia. So Mary has 2 innocents total. And one of them is to the right of Olivia, which means that either Tyler or Uma are an innocent and the other one a criminal. And that makes Zoe need to have a second criminal neighbor who has to be Xavi. Okay. So I was right. And I was right in not jumping into it. I should have read the clue first. Now, can we look at Scott's number of innocent neighbors on the edges? He has 1 innocent neighbor here on the edge, but he has to have an odd number of innocent neighbors on the edges. So either both Ivan and Vince are innocents or both of them are criminals. If both of them are criminals, we still need 3 innocents on the edges. Besides these, there's 1 here, 2, 3, 4. So we need 3 more. Amy would have to be one of them, and I guess it could be that these 3 are all innocents. But since Mary has 2 innocent neighbors total, someone said that. Someone talked about Mary. Okay. Here, Scott is only one of the 2 innocents neighboring Maria. It's the right of Olivia. So 2 innocents neighboring Mary. Oh my god. Very hard to English today. We know that Kumar is a criminal because Mary already has her 2 innocents here. So Kumar is a criminal. Take your time. I'm taking my time. I'm rushed too, but my time is rushed often. Teachers. We are for sure gonna have 1 innocent teacher here, are we not? We may not. It may be that both Wanda and Tyler are innocents and the other 2 who are teachers are criminal. So what was I doing with this? These 2 are criminals. And we can still have 3 innocents elsewhere, so that doesn't help me. What else do I look at? Don't need Mary's clue anymore. There's an odd number of innocents neighboring Kumar. This is it, because Kumar now has Mary, and he's gonna have a second innocent here. He's gonna have a 3rd innocent here in row 4. So Jose couldn't be an innocent, or else Kumar would have 4 innocent neighbors, and that's an even number. So Jose has to be a criminal. And Jose now tells us there are as many innocent doctors as there are innocent judges. And we just looked at that before. There's only 1 innocent doctor, so there can only be 1 innocent judge. Where are all the judges? There's 3 judges. Bobby is one of them, and he's already an innocent, so that makes Ivan the criminal. And because of what we talked before as well, Vance has to be another criminal. So that Scott can have an odd number of innocents on the edges neighboring him. We don't need Jose's clue anymore. Vance now tells us there's an odd number of criminals neighboring Xavi. Xavi is going to have 1 criminal neighbor here, who's either going to be Tyler or Uma. So that's 2 with Scott. And someone who's either Wanda or Zoe have to be the 3rd one to make an odd number. And it can be both of them because that would be an even number. So now we have a teacher kind of domino effect here. Let's make Zoe an innocent. That makes Wanda a criminal. That makes Olivia an innocent. And that can't happen. Because now we have 2 instant teachers, but there's only 1 instant teacher because there's only as many instant doctors as there are instant teachers. So Zoe couldn't be an instant. Should have to be a criminal. That will make Wanda an instant. And that will make Olivia a criminal. And now we know that there has to be 1 instant teacher, so that has to be Uma. And that makes Tyler a criminal. Nice. Nice. Uma tells us that she did 10 Sudokus as warm-up for this. I don't see how Sudokus and Clues by Sam overlap. But I am very interested in solving Sudokus here on the channel. I feel like I'm bad at them. But I want to try. What else do we know now? How many instances do we have on the edges? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 2 more, and those 2 can only be Amy and Hilda, which makes Gus our last criminal. And we are done for today. Okay. Oh, there's new info here. Solved in less than 11 minutes, faster than 50% of all solvers. Only 37% others have a perfect solve. Very interesting data. I like data. I think it stimulates a little bit of competitiveness, which I wouldn't like to be the goal here. I think the most important thing always is to compete with yourself from yesterday. So I would prefer the data to be about myself. Like, this is 50% faster than your previous solves in this difficulty, or something like that. Or you solve 90% of your hard puzzles with this sort of time, you know? Does that make sense? So I want to compare myself and how I'm improving rather than compare myself to others. Like I said, I want to do Sudokus at the channel, but I feel like I'm not at a point where I can explain my line of thought from start to finish and make it make sense. Like, I can solve it, but it takes me so long and so much back and forth and so much if this, if that I wouldn't be comfortable presenting to you my solution. Because it will confuse you as it was confusing for me. So when I get to a point when I can just present my solution and while I'm solving, explain my logic and make it make sense, then I'm gonna bring it to you. I'm sorry for this ramble at the ending, but it kind of fell into the new data that we're getting presented here at SAMS, and I'm really happy about that. I like new stuff, I like new features, I like new data, and I love doing Clues by Sam every day with you. So just some food for thought there. But that is gonna be it for today. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I'll be here again tomorrow for more Clues by Sam with a whole new week. And see you then. Bye bye.